Hello and welcome to the Gaming Manual on YouTube. I am Ryan of the Gaming Manual, and today I will be reviewing / previewing the newest game from Grindstone Games / Dragon Egg Games, City of Myrkesh. It is launching on Kickstarter on the 24th, so make sure to go down to the bottom, click the link to follow along on the campaign and snag a copy. And while you're down there, you might as well like and subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. And also follow me on Instagram, where it's more up to date. I'm more chatty on there as well. So let's get to the game. Also keep in mind that this is a review copy, prototype, so components, even gameplay, design elements are subject to change. Components 100% will be changing. And yeah, let's get to it. So here we are with the overhead view, and I'm going to try to teach you guys as quick as I can. First, everybody gets a deck of 10 starting cards, pawn of their choice, and a resource tracker. Then, starting player, and going clockwise, everybody places a meeple on the dual colored cobblestones, basically in between the districts. So we'll say there, we'll say this person there, we'll say it's a 3-player game. Before on setup, obviously we have the decks on each district. Decks match the districts. Put all these purple royal prestige points, and depending on the player count, gives us the Hydra life. These are points. Once they run out, the Hydra is dead, the game ends. The first player will draw 5 cards, and then we start. So there's essentially 4 actions that a player can take during his turn. Each of them have their own sub actions. So we'll go to the first one, the basic one. First, let me move this out of the way so you can kind of see everything. First one is play a card. Play a card vertically is one thing. Boom. When you play a card vertically, you get everything that's on the card. That kind of self-explanatory. So this one, you get 1 firepower with the soldier. Trader gives you 1 money. Okay. Then going back into here, this one, you gain 1 firepower, 1 money, renown. If you have these blue cubes, so attacking the Hydra, you can use it as money. Okay, so that's kind of a text base. Then we come into these other ones. So this one, you'll get everything in the purple. Down here, you'll see these symbols where it has this little card. If you discard a card from one of these districts, you unlock this. Then it's also worth this many points being in your deck. Oh yeah, this is also the cost to buy it. We'll get into that later. Let's see this one. So it doesn't have the little card on here, so you'll get all this. If you played a card from one of these districts in your turn, this current turn, you'll get 1 coin. Lastly, there's a resource card. Have 3 or more coins currently, and you get to draw a card. So that's playing a card vertically. Other option you might ask? This card, what do you see here if I play it vertically? Zilch. But if I play it horizontally, essentially tapping, exhausting, foregoing the actions of this card, I get 1 movement, which comes onto here. So there are tile or little placeholders for all of them, but I don't have them all. But so essentially I move it to 1. Since these don't carry over to the next turn, it's good to have this little tracker, because once you start synergizing your cards and comboing, these can kind of get out of control. This is hand size, money, firepower, speed, aka movement. So you don't only have to be the peasant. It could be any card you want. Like, hey, I don't want to use any of its effect. I want movement, horizontal. So that's action number 1, playing a card. Action number 2, movement. So using your speed that I showed you before, you can move your meeple or pawn or champion in any direction you want, as many times as you can afford. Move here, move here, move here. That's action 2. Action 2 plays into action 3, which is the deck building aspect. If I move here, I can, wherever these arrows point is where I can buy cards. So here I can buy from this district, etc., etc. So the arrows with the lines on it allows me only to buy from the inner city pile. To buy from the outer city, I have to go into the center circle, because if we remove this card, you can see right here, it's a nice little arrow. That comes with its own drawbacks. We'll bring this guy in for a little bit. If here, so you see Infernal Maw, Head, Void Maw, Plague Maw, Thick Flesh, essentially its big butt. If any of its 3 heads are facing the district where you're buying the outer city card, you introduce a rebel tile. Basically, essentially, this goes like this, and now there's debris because you essentially left the inner city free for the taking. It was wreaking havoc. So I'll take that card, but moving forward, anybody that comes here has to pay the cost of the card, so this 2, plus 1 speed resource. So I have to move my speed down and then pay to get that card. There can only be 2 rebel tokens at a time on the game. So if it says move rebel or place rebel, I get to move it from any other district and place it on a new district. Okay, we'll move that back off. We'll take this back off. At the end of your turn, anything that's been bought will fill up. So if you bought the inner city card, then this will slide down, revealing a new card. If you bought straight from the outer city, then you just flip over and buy a new one. Only happens at the end of your turn. You can buy as many as you can afford. Lastly is the main crux of the game. Attacking the Hydra, the Death-Stitched Hydra. Pretty sweet name. Boom, we'll put that there. Basically, to attack the Hydra, you have to be within these center circles with the red arrow. Boom, 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 boom. That's the attack points. And then with that comes its own kind of Hydra mini game, which is this right here. So this is your strength, what it does, and how it attacks you. So if I hit it with 3 firepower, I will create Rebel. The crowd will retreat, so you shuffle the deck in that district, and I will provoke it. So the dragon or the Hydra will flip around and face me, the main head. Depending on how high up, if I go 4, then all these happen. If I go 2, then just these 2 happen. Then depending on where I hit the Hydra, hit the head, the main head, the Void Maw, Plague Maw, I'll draw a wound card, which are these over here. I'll get into those. If I hit it in the butt, the Thick Flesh, it has a shield essentially because it's very fleshy. I'll have to use a speed in order for it to hit. So if I hit it with a 1, I'd have to use a speed to get 1 damage. If I hit it with a 3, if I don't use the speed, it goes down to 2 damage. Damage is directly related to points. So if I hit it with a 2, I get 2 points. Ooh, 2 points. And essentially the life goes down. Like I said before, once these are gone, the game ends. So that is essentially the quickest rundown I can give you in the game. Go around drawing cards. Each district has its own abilities. Undercity allows you to directly affect your opponents with these little status. So you can slow them down. Here, we'll kind of give you a breakdown right here. Boom. You tax them, they have to pay, they're enraged, impaired. Kind of gives it a little RPG element to it. Then you have the Merchant's Row, which gives you cards that are more money based. They'll give you more money and do this, get 2 coins, do this, get 1 coin. Then we got the Industrial Grounds. They're more about burning through your deck. Draw 2 cards, draw 1 card, do this, draw 2 cards. Then we have the Wilds, firepower. So do 2 damage, do 3 strength, essentially. And then lastly, we have Royal Courts. They don't like to get their hands dirty, so these cards give you these points over here. So this is kind of essentially doing their dirty bidding to get these points. So you can theoretically get powerful victory point cards, get these points, never have to attack the Hydra and still win. Because once these are gone, the game's in. So that's pretty much it. Now we'll go over and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Whew. Okay, so now that I've showed you how to play the game, let's get into my thoughts. Off the bat, I love deck builders. Dune Imperium is probably one of my favorite games. So I love that aspect. I love being able to synergize the cards from the different districts. Pretty much a few of my qualms with the game are just really pre-funded problems. The rules were kind of disjointed. The art or the board was kind of, again, designer choices. There's a lot of board not being utilized, just a big spot for monster health. And then let's put the wounds on here. I would prefer just the board to be round, have the decks on there and have the wounds and everything else off to the side, or kind of find a better, more art to incorporate it. But then again, that's just nitpicking. I liked the synergies of the cards, if I didn't already mention that. I like being able to choose whether to attack the Hydra versus doing the bidding, like I say, doing the bidding of the royals, or getting the cards to work together so everyone else could do the heavy hitting and I can just win by getting strict points. Another, I guess, a con that I've noticed, kind of like with Fantasy Realms or Red Rising, which are essentially kind of the same game, the person who owns the game will have the advantage. Once you know what cards are in the deck and what they say, some cards have a lot of text. Once you know what they are and what you're looking for, you have the advantage versus everybody else. And I know with me, with all the games that I play, even my most favorite games, I don't bring out because, or I don't get a chance to play again because my friends are dipping their toes into the water. They don't essentially want to play the same game again. They want to, like, hey, what else do you have? So that's kind of the issues that I had with Red Rising, and this one kind of, maybe there should be a starter round or a starter play, kind of like some games do. This is your first game, do this. But other than that, great theme. I love the Hydra. If you didn't see in the ticker below, this is a prototype. It did come with a cool, what they call the Death Stitched Hydra mini, and I didn't look into all the bubble wrap, so I accidentally threw it away. So sorry about that. So what you got instead was the high-res 2D printout. So yeah, I mean, pretty good game so far. Just for those like design elements, it's pretty solid game, medium weight, and yeah, go check it out.